Hi everybody, welcome to my favorite topic, family. Talking about family and diversity, which is my other favorite topic. So even if you don't like family research, diversity and family really go hand to hand in several different ways. Many of these are described in the chapter and discussed by Jordan Solis in the chapter that you read for today. And then I'm going to expand upon some of these. And I'm going to end by talking about a bit of research on what's called the spillover effect between work life and family life. And an overarching idea here is that who we are at work and who we are at home, but it doesn't have to be at home. That's just where a lot of family interactions take place. Who we are at work and who we are at home tends to be similar in many ways. Surprise, surprise, the kind of person we are at home is the kind of person that we are at work and out and about, and we'll adjust a little bit for the realm, but we are who we are. And we like being consistent in these realms. But a lot of times we have things that happen in one place or another, and they will spill over into those other realms in ways that can be problematic, also in ways that are helpful. So let's dig in. Let's start taking some notes. So feel free to take notes along with me in the Word document that I have. You can add your notes in there. So main points and reminders from this chapter on family. First, in this chapter, we're reading how the same phenomena that we have been talking about outside of the family, talking about work in a general sense, categorization, in, out grouping, differential treatment to based on categorical differences. All of these can happen within the family. This is pretty neat, especially considering that family is like an ultimate in-group, and that we feel a sense of solidarity and similarity among ourselves and our family members, especially when we're thinking about our family compared to non-family members, and that's heightened even more. So let's review some fundamental points that this new family context reminds us of in the broader literature. So number one, social identity theory of intergroup behavior asserts that we are drawn to in-groups and away from our perceived out-groups, but not that these are purely dichotomous. So what I mean by that is, while I'll even be guilty of saying, are you in my in-group or are you in my out-group? It isn't always like hopping between, hopscotch. They're not dichotomous. So there is actually a continuum. Certainly the more intergroup, the less interpersonal. Remember all that from the beginning days together. But there are degrees to which one is an in-group member. And the more you're an in-group member, the more interpersonal. Okay, so you remember that. So the family context is a great reminder that you aren't just in or out. There are degrees of that. And these can change at any time. At any time. You're always my family, but you could feel like more of a family member or not. And so Lise makes this point nicely at the top of page 182. Now, point number two, group salience. This is defined on page 182. So Lise quotes Harwood and colleagues for this. Important side note, whenever you're writing about quote versus quotation, anytime you have anytime you're saying I made a quotation or this is a quotation, if it's a noun, it's a quotation. Quote is only a verb. So when people say, I put a bunch of quotes up on my blog page, no you didn't. You put a bunch of quotations up there. You quoted people, you quoted others' thoughts or ideas, you quoted them, but the thing in of itself is a quotation. Okay, it's just a pet peeve that's always done wrong, and I just want to put it out. Okay, so this quotation that he provides from Harwood and colleagues reminds us that salience is about your awareness of group differences. How much are you mindful of it? How much is it having an impact on that interaction? So just like at work, if you're relying heavily on the different groups of you and the person with whom you're interacting in that family, then it's going to be consequential in good or bad ways. So if within your family you're really cognizant of, for instance, I'm young, you're old, that's high group salience. That's different from when you're engaged in that interaction as two family members, or just two people. So how salient group members group memberships are is really important to understand the interaction and the ramifications of that interaction in the family, just like outside of the family. Okay, point number 3. Having a common identity brings the benefits of in-group status to out-group members. So, Jordan Solis is the author of your chapter, is my academic advisor and dear friend. So, Jordan mentions step families. My favorite example is in-laws. With both step families and in-law relationships, we can really see this. So, here are these two distinct groups. Two little